The lecture hall of Orion Interstellar Academy shimmered with soft blue light, its vaulted ceiling mapped to a tranquil nebula drifting slowly across simulated space. Hundreds of cadets, scaled, furred, crystalline, tentacled, sat in tiered rows, their species drawn from every corner of the Union. All were silent. All were listening. At the center, in a circular holographic well, floated a slowly rotating projection of an infamous red flag planet, Earth, classified Deathworld Level 5. Instructor Valor, an elder scholar from the gentle world of Flotus, adjusted her breathing mask and tapped the hologram. The planet's overlay pulsed crimson. "Observe," she said, her musical voice echoing through the lecture hall. Category 5 worlds are classified by multiple concurrent hazards. For instance, gravity strong enough to liquefy an average Floatian's bones. She pointed delicately at the numbers glowing above Earth. 9.8 standard gravities, not survivable for most sapients. A murmuring ripple moved through the students, some shuddering, some clicking anxiously. Valor continued, "Then there are the atmospheric fluctuations, storms capable of eroding terrain in hours, lightning reaching millions of volts, seasonal temperature shifts of—" A hand rose, human, steady. A voice followed. Stop," she paused. "You're describing my childhood." Every head turned toward Susan Callahan, the only human cadet in the auditorium. Her expression was politely apologetic, as though she knew she was interrupting an ancient ritual rather than a simple lecture. Her dark hair was tied back in a utilitarian knot, and her posture held the quiet confidence of someone who had outrun predators more times than she could count. Beside her, Evan Hale, another human but far more acclimated to alien reactions than she was, rubbed the back of his neck and whispered, "Told you they'd freak out." Valor blinked 3 eyes slowly, as if buffering. Miss Callahan, you are from this world, Earth." "Yes, ma'am." "And you survived this?" Susan shrugged lightly. "We call it weather." A Draxian student fainted sideways with a clatter. Valor cleared her throat through the vocal harmonizer, visibly shaken but determined to resume the lesson. "Let us proceed. Besides environmental hazards, Deathworlds often contain megafauna, beasts of enormous size and predatory nature." Susan raised her hand again. "Oh, you mean like bears?" A crystalline student whispered urgently, "What is a bear?" Evan leaned over, offering the unfortunate explanation. "Think of a 3-meter carnivore that can run faster than most Lev shuttles and climb trees while deciding if you're edible." The crystalline student immediately updated its will. Susan lifted her fingers placatingly. "They're not that bad. Just don't startle them, or corner them, or smell like food, or look like food. Really, they mind their own business unless you give them a reason." A serpent folk cadet hissed, "This is not comforting." Valor pressed on, out of academic bravery, if nothing else. Deathworld civilizations also show unusual adaptability. She flipped to the next hologram. Human evolutionary notes scrolled across the air. Humans possess remarkable bone density, regenerative tissue response, and a tactile threshold for pain that exceeds most Union militaries. Evan muttered, "Finally something in the brochure that makes us look good." Susan elbowed him gently. Valor gestured toward Susan. "Miss Callahan, may I ask, what was your upbringing like on Earth?" Susan shifted in her seat, trying to find a translation between what she considered normal and what would not cause another species-wide panic attack. "Well, okay, my town had snowstorms that knocked out power lines every winter, heat waves in the summer, occasional tornado warnings, and, earthquakes sometimes, tiny ones." The hall went dead silent. "Tiny?" Valor croaked. Susan made a pinching gesture. "Like, just enough to make your mug slide a bit on the table." Valor staggered back a step. Evan, trying to help, added, also wildfires every summer, but mostly in the mountains, not usually near us. This did not help. A tentacled cadet whispered frantically, if I visited your world, how would I remain alive? Susan considered this sincerely. Hydration, good shoes, and don't antagonize geese. Valor typed urgently into her datapad. Geese, potentially apex predators? Susan saw the note. Oh, no, I mean they look harmless, but they bite and chase and, have territorial issues. A stone-skinned cadet asked, do all creatures on Earth wish to kill everything? Not everything, Evan said. Some creatures just want to ruin your day. Valor inhaled deeply. Let us move forward, before we all require sedation. She pulled up a new display. Psychological resilience metrics. Humans score unusually high across survival stressors. Prolonged danger exposure. High conflict environments. Chronic uncertainty. Susan folded her hands on her desk. Honestly, that one is just being a teenager where I grew up. Several cadets made distressed noises, as if the concept of human adolescence itself constituted a hazard. The instructor steadied herself. And yet, you two left such a planet voluntarily. Why? Evan smiled in a way that revealed both mischief and sincerity. Because we wanted to learn about worlds where the air doesn't try to murder you. Susan chuckled. Also, the Academy is the first place anyone's ever tried to explain the galaxy to us without assuming we're about to punch it. A ripple of cautious laughter passed through the hall. Valor looked at her human students with a fragile mixture of awe and academic concern. Miss Callahan, Mr. Hale, your species perplexes us. You endured dangers that would eradicate entire civilizations. You laugh at forces we classify as planetary threats. You survive conditions we believed no sapient could withstand. How? Susan thought for a moment. Really thought. Her gaze softened, not with bravado but memory. Because Earth never gave us a choice, she said quietly. It's not courage, it's adaptation. You learn to keep moving. You learn to keep going. You learn that tomorrow might hit harder than today. But you get up anyway, because everyone else around you is doing the same. Her voice warmed. And after a while, danger stops feeling like danger. It just feels like living. The hall remained silent for a long time, but it was no longer the silence of horror. It was something closer to admiration, tinged with the realization that they were speaking to survivors of a world built like a cosmic gauntlet. Valor closed the hologram slowly. Then perhaps, she said, the Academy has something to learn from you as well. Evan flashed a grin. So does that mean we pass the lecture? Absolutely not, Valor snapped, recovering her authority. You will still submit the 30-page analysis on Deathworld resilience by next cycle. Susan and Evan groaned in perfect, synchronized human agony. The rest of the class, suddenly deeply impressed by these strange, unkillable beings from a planet that had tried very hard to delete them during childhood, watched with newfound respect. 2 humans, 1 Deathworld, and an Academy just beginning to understand both.